10. Reading horoscopes are another form of accepting and honoring occult practices that God has clearly condemned. These are written by people who do not believe in God and thus practice these ancient divining arts of pagan deities. Having said this, we see where the faith and trust of these people is put in. 9. If you want to talk to God, pray. Philippians 4 verse 6 and 7. Be careful for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. 8.
John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says, I just whipped you.
This was the moment that the WWE pushed Steve Austin to new heights of superstardom. Austin 3:16 merchandise sold out worldwide at a rapid pace. At the SummerSlam pay-per-view event in 1997, Stone Cold Steve Austin had a match with Owen Hart which led to a bruised spinal column and temporary paralysis for Steve Austin when he was on the receiving end of a tombstone piledriver. 7.
The worship and adoration of Mary, the Immaculate Conception of Mary, the perpetual virginity of Mary. You won't find that in the New Testament. The Assumption of Mary. Mary as co-redemptrix and mediatrix. Basically what that means, I think it's in 1 Timothy 2:5. There's God and man and one mediator between God and man, which is the man Christ Jesus. He's the mediator between God and man. But the Catholic Church, they made her a mediatrix. That means she's the mediator. And that's why Catholics, there's a lot of the prayers and they do pray to Mary. So there's a lot of convents that are given wholly, solely to Mary, the worship of Mary, and nothing else. That's idolatry.
6. Olives assist the health and function of the ovaries. An Italian study found that women whose diets included a lot of olive oil had a 30% lower risk of ovarian cancer. 5. Fear God, not man.
And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him, God, which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Why would God do that? When you choose against God, you've made your decision. God says, now you shall eat the fruit of your own consequence. That's what you wanted, that's what you're going to take. And this is where you lose your soul. And that's what Satan wants. He tries to destroy every man, woman, and child. How does he do that? As you're growing up, the lusts of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life. These things are of the world. They are not of God. And this is basically what Satan is trying to throw as sort of like sparklies in front of your eyes, and you're just looking at that and you just took your eyes off of the prize. This is what Satan is doing.
4. Satan is still deceiving the world.
The great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. Halloween has become a major celebration that we find even in churches taking part and sponsoring parties on that day. You're taking in a pagan practice and you're covering it up. It's like taking a rotten cake and putting a beautiful icing over it. My little girl, she went dressed as a fairy because fairies exist. Good for you. Oh no, you know, my little girl, she was dressed as a nurse. You're taking the epitome of ugliness, of what God hates, and you're covering it with something nice. Where are you going? Especially if you're saved. Go hide under a bed somewhere.
3. 3 things we lost through Adam and Eve.
God creates man in righteousness, true holiness, and knowledge. When they ate of that fruit, they lost the righteousness that now they have to go back and get. They lost the true holiness, and they lost the knowledge of God. As the children were being born to Adam and all the subsequent generations, they forgot God. Look at today. We're at a point where 7/8 of the world's population forgot God. They've invented their own gods.
2.
The Bible is a book of wisdom, Proverbs. The Bible is a book of life, Ecclesiastes. Poetry, songs, and prayers, the Psalms. Man's nature is in there, spiritual matters, instructions on how to walk in this present world. The Bible gives guidance in our journey through life to eternity, as well as leads us to a relationship with the God of the universe, and then some. I just gave you a brief overview.
1. Christ, aka the fountain of living waters.
When you partake of what the world has to offer you and you indulge in it completely, soaking yourself in it, you will find that it doesn't fill you. It doesn't satisfy you, and you keep coming back to something hoping that it's going to fill that void that you have inside you. But that satisfaction never comes, because the world can never fill the void that we have inside us. And it basically leaves you empty. When you come to the fountain of living waters, there you'll never thirst again, because there your void is actually going to be filled.